Hey everybody, welcome back to Salt and Sanctuary, and we're gonna be basically merging the runs once more as we're heading back to what we're supposed to be doing in the game normally.
I like how your hair... I keep forgetting that your hair is bright green.
Yeah, I too keep forgetting that I made the most obnoxious character ever because, like, a lot of armor covers it up. Now here's a neat thing you could do in this game. You could basically lap the level.
Can't move you forward, but I can move you backward.
So while this takes a while to go and I can't exactly jump during this animation, I've come to a realization while recording these videos. This game reminds me a lot about Zelda Link's Awakening.
Does it?
In a vague sense, mainly just in general, because you start as a silent protagonist on a ship in the middle of a storm, getting beat on by zombies, I mean, in the middle of a storm, and then the storm ruins your boat and you find yourself shipwrecked on a beach with nothing, and then you just have to explore the area and figure out what happened. Now there's one thing at the end of the game that will further expand on that, but I will say there is a fair bit of, well, I don't mean a fair bit, like, there's a few little nods that make me think that Link's Awakening might have been an inspiration to this in a vague sense.
I guess I could see that.
But here we're at the Fort of the Mire. There's no real anything here. There's no boss, there's no big set piece. There's broken ankles.
Yeah, we'll call that Sanctuary.
I kind of wanted to break this because I wanted to see how this man died, but I don't know where he went.
The game killed him.
Yeah. There is one thing we could do here, but it's not really important. It's just, you know, a thing you could do. This is mainly a transition zone between areas, much like Far Beach was a while ago. Here we have a preset sanctuary for the iron ones. But, yeah, fuck those guys.
Did it make the munch sound effect?
Yes. That's one of my favorite things about the sparkling sphere, or whatever it's called. When you do it, you're basically eating this covenant. Or sanctuary. Now, one thing I never really showed off in, like, the last few videos is that when you have both wall jump and dart, you can cheat all the platforming in the game.
Didn't I ask that earlier?
You might have. It's been a while since we recorded, so I'm a little, my notes are a little out of whack here. But yeah, you could just, you know, dart to a wall and then wall jump up to a limited point, but it does kind of, you know, simplify a lot of the platforming. Over here we have treasure.
But first the wall.
Yeah, at some points I just get really excited and I dart into a wall and just completely forget things. We got a bunch of armor I can't pronounce. It's the boatman's armor that we just took. Also, bye. That guy is such a pain in the ass that I just never bother fighting him, even when I'm doing like a magic playthrough. Also, secrets. Technically, this is the way out of a path that we're supposed to be taking a while ago. But, you know, I just decided to go the back way because I apparently don't do things proper. Here, though, we also have another pathway that we could take, but I believe this is blocked off. Yep. If only we had missiles, then we could open those. Maybe super missiles. Because Lord knows it takes 5 regular missiles to break open those doors.
If only we had another weapon.
Yeah. To be fair, the boat ore is pulling its weight. Like, we hit a bit of a snag in the ziggurat dust and the Forgotten Dome before it, but you know, it's gonna start pulling its weight once more. Now this guy is a trap that I'm gonna fall for, because I have absolutely no reason to, but there's an item here that I'm gonna get. Because what the fuck ever.
Anglerfish, centaur.
Big brother!
Little brother!
Yeah, pretty much. Big brother's there to mess you up. I have reached a point where I don't even have to, like, do anything complicated. I could just poke this man with a boat or he's dead. The worst part is if you do a heavy attack against this guy, it's weaker.
Well, okay. Sure.
Yeah, there's Big Brother. He is a pain in the ass to fight. And I believe we get Divine Will. Well, we got Divine Will, which I believe is a resurrection for co-op partners. Yeah, you can tell I haven't played this game in a while. Whatever, dude.
Hey, ow, hey, ow, hey, ow.
Yeah, an interesting thing about the heavy attacks, a standing heavy attack is that swinging motion, and that's weaker. But if you hold forward and do heavy attack, you do that lunging poke, which does 2 attacks, and that's stronger.
I would hope so. I would think the heavy attack would do more damage, period, but I guess not.
The Bodor's complicated. Welcome to where we're going to be spending the next 30 minutes of the video at. This is Hager's Cavern. It's big! Also, I discover a couple weird things. Namely, this cliffus I didn't know exist. There's the boss.
Oh.
I'm genuinely curious if there's like a skip here. The geometry in this area is really weird, and I feel like if a person is way more clever than me, and odds are there are a lot of people that are, they could probably like wedge their way into the boss and not have to do this entire level whatsoever. Because if you can, please let me know, because good lord, I'd like to not deal with this level at all. I just want to fight this guy and leave. But yeah, the one thing I like about Hager's Cavern is that it's sprawling. It is indeed a cave, and there's a lot of cave here. There's a lot of platforming, and there's a lot of ways to goof around with platforming. Like that treasure there, we can reach that because we have the dart brand. I always forget what it's called. With that, we get the Ring of Brilliance. It's just, you know, a light bulb.
I like to think all the brands went in the same spot, so you just have this blob of burnt flesh. You can't tell what it is anymore.
That's amusing me just to imagine how much pain our dude goes through. It's like, oh no, not again, not again, not again. Ah!
3 more times and I won't even feel it.
I still feel it after the 5th.
Yeah, but you need 3 more times.
Ah, yeah. Now, the big problem in this area is that there's a fair bit of floating enemies, and we all know Ornstein's flaw. These guys are the visible variants of the invisible ones we saw in Forgotten Dome. Aside from that, there's no real difference.
They've got a mother of a wedgie.
I am so afraid of dying right now. I still don't understand how people enjoy playing the halberd style of gameplay, just because the fact that my heavy attack in the air is the worst thing ever, that just frustrates me so much. Now, a good news about this game is that the way I did the path, you can indeed continue the storylines that we've been doing the whole game. The main issue is, from before, the next step is in this cavern. However, it doesn't progress until you beat the next boss. So what I'm basically doing in this video is, I'm gonna explore the cave, fuck around, get all the items, beat the boss in the Red Hollow cages, which we were supposed to do, what, 4 videos ago? And then the next video, we're gonna continue the plot lines.
This is just a side area.
No, this is a mandatory progress in a way of, it's kinda, it's an area that forks into a lot of other areas. But yeah, but this is one of, I believe, 3 areas where you can enter the boss the wrong way. Now, unfortunately, this one doesn't offer any tactical advantage. Also, these assholes. These skeletons can teleport at will. Hitting them doesn't stop them. They'll just teleport. At times, like 20 times. So you'll just be sitting there watching this dude teleport all around you like a fucking DBZ villain. And you're just like, yo, can we fight?
No, I'm a DBZ villain.
Let me just expand upon the plot for about 20 more minutes so we can, you know, have a filler episode. But yeah, aside from that, these guys aren't necessarily lethal unless you get like 3 or 4 in a pack. And then you have like 4 people teleporting around you all the time and it's just fucking confusing.
Well, I mean, walking skeletons is physically impossible anyway, so why the hell not? They can teleport.
Don't worry about it, a wizard did it. I'm too lazy to drink wine. Let's instead drink this vial of, I don't know. Now, that door back there is locked. We can't open that door unless we beat the boss we saw a while ago. That pirate-looking dude that we just kind of, you know, forced our way into. Though that's not the boss we're going to fight today.
But he is our ultimate goal here.
Yes. He is what stands in between us and progress.
To be fair, I watched a little bit of this video earlier, and the boss I did see, I feel like that should be the mandatory one.
Yeah, in a way, that boss is not mandatory, now that I'm thinking about it. You could ignore him. Like, wow, I've never thought of that. That's kind of hilarious, actually. Though I do loathe the boss coming up. Yeah, if you go this way, you go to the boss. I don't want to go that way. I'm trying to find the sanctuary.
Fucking finally.
Yeah, one thing to note, the electric charm is really good for this area.
Reverently place the head.
Welcome, hedonism, to the caves! We don't have anything for this place. I put a sellsword here for no real reason, but you put those down if you ever want to engage in, like, local co-op. Now to begin the arduous process of navigating the level up menu.
This does look like a mess.
The big mess is that, since I am a man of infinite wisdom and good ideas, I bought a Steam controller, which is good for the most part, except when you need a D-pad. Because let me tell you, that haptic pad would be good if just tapping the pad acted as a D-pad. But having to click around that giant fucking thing, ugh, I don't like it. In the meantime, though, I kind of feel like playing with a little bit of armor. I wanted to, you know, equip something cool, but it would still allow me to at least medium roll, but I didn't get the chance. Because God. The worst thing about heavy armor in this game is that since verticality is a thing, there's a distinct difference in jump height in between light and heavy armor loadouts. If you run around in heavy armor, you're gonna have a significantly harder time platforming in this game than if you did just running around with like a scarf and, you know, commoner boots. And that's why I never wear armor. These crab dudes are a lot easier to deal with now, mainly because we've finally scaled up to fight them, but they're also wickedly aggressive, to where you could often only get one attack at a time before you have to roll out of their attacks. Never really a huge fan of that kind of idea. Looking at you, Dark Souls 3. Now, I believe I do it later in the video, but where we just got that item, you could drop down there and go to another path. That path is intended if you go the normal way and don't have the blue platform buff. But since we have that, it doesn't really matter to us.
Is it slower?
It's more painful because you're taking fall damage, but it's not slower. I do like the fact that they actually considered that, even though you can't progress without it anyways. It's just a neat little way for people that like to explore to have that catharsis. Because a lot of the joy from this game, in my opinion, comes from just, you know, finding all the ways around the level, seeing how wide everything is, and how you can just choose a path and never stop walking. And because of that, when you see a cliff out of just out of reach, I love seeing level design where there's a way to get to that reach, even though there's a door blocking the way. It's a good way to give, like, an illusion of freedom to the player. We also just got the Sapper Charm. I believe this one is... Leech's Focus. You know how I mentioned that both spellcasting and attacking over an extended period of time wounds your stamina?
Yeah, and you can just, like, right just there I saw it go down a little bit.
Yeah, I believe Sapper Charm is one of the ways to fix it. The other way is drinking a stamina potion, which, we actually could get on the level up screen. I've just, you know, haven't been getting them because I'm not a caster, so it doesn't really affect me all that much.
What I'm trying to figure out is what that dude you just killed was. He looks like a pyramid head crab centaur.
Yeah. I forget what they're called, but that's definitely what the design is inspired from. You can't look at him and not say, yo, that's Pyramid Head. Also, we got some drowned idols. Those are the things that you use to upgrade boss weapons. Well, certain boss weapons. Like, any weapon that you get from a boss soul, that would use separate items, but if it's, like, directly a boss weapon, then you have to use drowned stuff. It's like the difference between, say, Iron Golem Gauntlet versus Iron Golem Axe in Dark Souls 1.
Right.
I do enjoy the fact that we just take this guy's ribcage for no real reason.
I used it to pick my teeth.
Like, this man doesn't have an ear, whatever. Crack. Now, that platforming segment is a one-way trip. You can go the other way. It's just a bit of a hassle, and I have bells, so whatever. And I believe you discovered all of the upside of the area. Now let's discover the downside. Also, this is the result of, say, going down that alternate path and dropping down. You just see that red bear and you're like, oh, whatever. I don't even know why I'm bothering fighting these skeletons.
Yeah.
They just teleport so much that it's a waste of time. There we go. I think I mainly deal with them because they're gonna keep teleporting towards me, and then they just won't go away. It's a bit of a hassle.
Ah, my crotch.
Please stop! I wish I could see, like, you know, higher resolution images of the enemies, because I want to see what's going on with the head of that thing. It looks like it's either, like, a bunch of tiny skulls or, like, 5 rocks forming some kind of mouth. Ow. Now, this area is kind of a mess. There's so many enemies here. Luckily, that combo just mows through pretty much all of them.
How big can your combo get?
I believe it ends at that overhead swing if I use that specific target combo. I know at one point at the beginning of this recording session in particular, I spent a while trying to remember the target combo that a person in the thread told me about, but I forgot. I could have spent the time to look it up in load, but I was just like, dude, I gotta record something in hard drive space is kind of at a premium. There we go.
Kind of funny they look like the girl from The Ring.
I think that was the intent. Like, it's very obviously a Sadako reference because, you know, she drowned in a well, and a lot of the symbology in this game is aquatic in nature. By the way, here's me cheating at a puzzle. You are not supposed to be able to do that. What you're supposed to do is find an obelisk about 3 platforms down, and do a neat little platforming puzzle where you have to go upside down and then right side up and then get over here. But I have the dart brand, so fuck that. That opens up 1/2 of the path to the boss intended for this area. We don't fight him until the next video, but it's good to know.
Now remind me, you can only do 2 dashes in the air, right?
Yes. It's just that when I'm traveling on the ground, doing 1 dash is generally faster because, I don't know. I don't know if doing both dashes at once or just, you know, dash, drop, dash, drop, dash, drop is faster. I do know the fastest way to travel is to exploit a glitch where if you jump and press the roll button at the same time, you don't do the dart brand, but you jump so fucking fast that it almost feels like it.
I do remember saying that.
Yeah, that was like the big glitch in the speedrun of this game at GDQ this year. Now, I don't know what these guys are. They look like revenants with halberd heads chained to their hands. They're not really a threat, but they sure are loud. I can't reach.
They just want a hug.
Look, I don't want to hug, dude. You have blades for hands. You know how much that shit hurts?
I mean, it's a hug that'll result in them getting your spine, but still.
Well, get those out of the way. I think this is the only area you see those 2 enemies. Because I don't remember them anywhere else. And in retrospect, that might be a good thing, because imagine, like, this would be a good area to have you farm them for, say, a guild job. But man, that would be the most boring farm ever. Hello, samurai. Ow. Walked into the lair of the Katana Gang. I gotta get out of here. Now, this is an interesting area in that it's mandatory, but it also opens up a side area that's of relative importance if you have a specific item. But for now, we gotta do the obligatory thing. We have to walk into this very obvious trap. Because you're gonna walk in here and there's gonna be 10 spiders that spawn in with this immortality, man.
My goodness.
The best thing to do here is just, you know, lure them out. They're not hard. But there's just a lot of... They're called drop spiders, by the way. Because why not? The best part is that you can tell where they are because the invincibility man kind of gives them away.
He's a help, but only one at a time.
Yeah, they should have put like 3 or 4 more of those in there to make this actually a threat. But the main danger of these guys is that they have grabs too. Sometimes the wall grab is a little confusing. Now, if you kill all the enemies here, you're still not done. Because if you pull the lever, 1 more spawns. So he automatically aggroes away from the door, which is a little weird to me. I feel like the moment you press the lever, it should appear and aggro on you, but eh.
I'm here to kill you and face the wrong way.
Now that we have the cellar key, we can open up 2 areas. One is the path to the boss, and the other is this area. here we get the symbol of affluence, which gives us more gold drops. And I didn't mention this before, but the Splendor Guild, if you spend more money at them, you get way more items. And that's going to be relevant in 6 episodes? 5 or 6 episodes. I think I buy them in episode 14, and then I get another thing at episode 15. Say hello to Minty Skell.
I thought their name was Minty Shell.
The first time I saw this, I thought her name was Minty Skull. Now, she sells a unique array of upgrade materials and consumable items. However, the only way to do this is if you farm those scythe-looking guys from the Red Hollow Cages until you get one of their ears. Once you do, she considers you a harvester, and then you get free stuff. And then her reason for existence is done. She's just a very out-of-the-way merchant.
And then her children eat her.
Mommy's got a minty skull! I believe we've covered most of, Hager's Cavern? Hager's Cavern? I know it's not Hager, because that's a mayor.
I do like the look of it. I like the look of caves that are lit by other things than actual sunlight, just by plants and rocks.
Yeah, bioluminescence is always a great way to make your cave levels interesting. But I do like the anglerfish-esque enemies as well as a lighting source. Mainly because of the theming of this game, because a lot of the theming of this game is aquatic, deep ocean, etc. ad infinitum, so having the anglerfish ambushment is kind of a neat touch in my opinion.
Well, this is a pretty eldritch element as well.
Yeah. We saw that at like the first boss of the game when he punched me in the mouth.
Nephew of Cthulhu.
Yes. Unspeakable something or other.
So unspeakable you forgot it.
Now here's the boss. So let me tell you something about how trees in a soul-like game are the worst boss in existence. I don't like this man. Or this men of men. This is the Tree of Men. The big gimmick of the Tree of Men is that you have to kill all the bodies that are chained up on him before you can fight the main body. Now here's the problem I have with them.
The same problem you've always had.
Aerial combat blows. And if you're on the ground and you happen to get hit by those shockwaves, there's a very high chance you're going to be tossed into a pit of victory. Like so.
Jeez.
When first learning this game, this dude took me hours to learn. And I only did this boss twice this run. I wanted to keep this in to emphasize how fucking frustrating this boss could be. Amusingly enough, this is not the worst boss in the game.
You know, I wonder if that mysterious cleric goes to people who are dying of cancer and revives them.
I'm gonna make me a bunch of money, I'm gonna keep bringing you back. See you in 2 days. Now, the Tree of Men is not particularly dangerous attack-wise. His only real threat is the environment. Because if you're on the ground, you're gonna get stomped and then flung away. If you're on these platforms, you're gonna get burned to death. So one thing you want to equip here is the Impen Ring. Because I believe a good 90% of the damage here is fire. If you have fire, you're going to negate most of the problems here, even though it's still going to stack up wounds. Now here's my problem. I'm not really good at air combat. I don't want to go out into the sky and then drop down and then get stepped on. So I'm just going to sit here and wait for this dick bag to come a little closer so I can poke him. I'm not worried about damage. I got good fire resist on right now. It's just that my reach ironically sucks with a spear-like weapon.
You're resistant to fire. Getting smacked in the head, not so much.
Uh-oh.
So what is the Tree of Men?
It's, I honestly can't tell you. I can look this up later and kind of make a little 5-second synopsis in the post version of this game, but, it's basically a bunch of cages of tortured souls that gain sentience. But now that we're in phase 2 of the fight, we've exposed his second weak point, which is his big eyeball. And his attacks will consist of punching you in the face. So what you want to do for the rest of this fight is go to a lower level, wait for him to like move, because that's what indicates he's gonna punch, and then when he does, poke him in the eye. Repeat. However, I mistimed this and he keeps punching high when I wanted to punch low. There we go. Now, unfortunately, with the Bodor, I'm only going to have opportunity for like 1 to 2 attacks. But it's good damage, because let me tell you, when I did this with a dexterity build, this was the worst boss ever. Slashing damage doesn't do shit to this boss, and it's awful. He also has another attack, which is, Flamethrower Hell. That thing will instantly, like, rend your HP bar. Luckily he has a huge windup though, so you can tell it's gonna happen. But even then, there's still the flamethrowers on the other side of the arena that are still spraying. By the way, here's something really weird that happened. The boss glitched out. Like, I don't know what the hell happened here, but he just stopped attacking. I know someone who's gonna be really mad that happened. Well, a lot of people, because I just basically lucked my way out of another fight.
Do we need to bring Iron Chillin in so he can bitch at you again?
Nah. He has his own problems with stress right now, and I don't think he could handle even more of me just getting lucky.
I like his term for you getting lucky, bumblefucking your way through the game.
I mean, it's not wrong. But yeah, that is technically the Red Hall of Cages done.
Oh, good.
There's still a little bit of this area left to explore. Like, for the rest of the video, I'm gonna just explore what we missed by not going down the Red Hall of Cages all the way. Taking my circuitous path instead. There's not much, but there's still a fair bit of items, like this. Flame Orbiters.
Ugh, sick of my job, but...
Thanks. I'll be back after you rest at a sanctuary. Now here's a weird, irritating thing. That ghost is dead, but he still gets to attack. What a piece of shit.
Is that intentional?
I want to say no.
Was that intentional?
No, because the thing about my pattern of doing the air dashing is that it builds up momentum, and traction is a little goofy in this game in that when you speed up to the speeds I go to, you take a while to come to a complete stop. And I forgot that there was a gap in that staircase there. So I just kinda, you know, fucking Benny Hilled my way to death. Give me that salt back, I really need that. Now here, if I was lucky, that guy would give me an ear, but he didn't. And by activating that elevator, we unlocked basically a shortcut all the way back up and down the Red Hall of Cages. That is entirely unnecessary.
Boop.
The easiest way to fight the Scythe guys is to parry them, but he's just being a piece of shit and shield camping. So I'm just gonna be a piece of shit and poke at him. Though yeah, there's really not much else to the Red Hall of Cages. Like right now we are basically approaching the area where we're gonna find the Splendor group. Over here is a interesting little shortcut, I want to say. I'll eventually get to it once I get this stone merchant. But down there in that obvious door is an alternate way to where we saw the Despondent Thief a while ago. If we go up that column, we'll find a obelisk that allows us to go upside down, and then right back up to be perfectly positioned to meet Despondent Thief.
Not minty.
Yeah, I don't know why I mix those two up. I think it's just because Minty's easier to say. I'm sorry, Despondent Thief. You have a complicated name to say, so I'm not saying it. Now, one thing that's bugging me, there's one thing that bugs me, is that at the bottom of the Tree of Men's arena, where I die all the time, there's what looks like a door. I have never put in the effort to get there safely, so if someone in the thread could tell me what that is, I'd be really grateful, because my curiosity is killing me. Next time on Sultan Sanctuary, we fight pirates!
With how common pirates are, I feel like walking sentient torture machine is more creative. Certainly one of the most creative bosses I've seen in a while. Even if it didn't look that great to fight. There was something about it I couldn't figure out, like, that doesn't seem like something from a Miyazaki movie, but like, I guess the mechanics of it maybe, but there was something sort of Shadow of the Colossus about it.
Yeah. Tree of Cages is pretty clever, it's just that a lot of weapon sets are not suited to fighting it. Like, heavy weapons and pole arms, you're not going to have a fun time fighting it just because you can't stay in the air for a substantial amount of time. And I don't think I remember ever seeing it in a Miyazaki movie. I'm trying to remember if there's any inspiration for it, but I'm just drawing a blank, unfortunately. But yeah, pretty creative. The next guy, not so much. He's just a dude with a musket. So, we'll see you next time.